who got the green thumb, your wife come right in from work on one of your videos. You can see her in the background of the video, fooling straight with the plants. She was like, she the green thumb. She in the video working on the plants.
Man. Every time you turn around, I'm trying to get rid of plants.
No, she
like, don't bring another plant in this house.
They pretty though. My sister said maybe we can get rid of them too.
I might open up the
Oh, did you hear that? Yeah. My sister said we got two on the table from the funeral. He said, well, you think Nietzsche wife might want about it? I didn't say what you said about the plants now. I said I'm trying to throw them motherfuckers out. So she said as soon as they start dying, she revive them and bring them back to life.
I said, shoot,
man.
I go in there and open up the shade in the window and
yeah.
daggone glass fall out in the sink and break. And I said, you got enough plants. You got plants in all the windows and everything.
In the kitchen too?
Yeah, because every time she turn around, she got another new plant growing. You put it in the water in the glass.
She might got two more coming.
Oh, I said, shoot, man. So I'm like, man.
My sister probably give them to her too, because my sister don't want to take care of them.
Shouts out to all you brothers and sisters out there in social media land. This is indeed a great day to be alive. It's a day the Most High made. We should rejoice and be glad in it, no matter what. We can always find somebody that's in a badder situation. I always find somebody in a badder situation, and I ain't got no books over here, but that's okay. We'll use this book. See if we can get a few brothers and sisters on the line that might have some leisure time. I want to go over something that's dealing with a post that we made on the other day. I put the post out there that declared to all the brothers and sisters that might be struggling with something or having some uncomfortable circumstances to not be prideful. And I would say, if I can help, I will help. And we got many responses back. And we thank the Most High that the vast majority of the brothers and sisters that had called were really requesting prayers for certain situations. We have a few brothers and sisters that might need a little bit of financial assistance. And so we want to make this video so the brothers and sisters can understand what our capabilities are, and we do have limitations, okay? And that's why I put, if I can help, then I will. And so we're not always able to meet certain needs that people are having, okay? I'm only one person, but we do got brothers and sisters together, so I want to give you some examples of that will put some clarity on the if I can help, I will help. There's no problem. We can release prayers on behalf of our brothers and sisters that may be going through some things. And sometimes we can even extend a little bit of financial help. But we don't have the type of money to where we might be able to pay nobody's mortgage or pay nobody's car payment. Every now and then we might be able to scrape up enough money to help somebody with a light bill or a gas bill, or to buy groceries, or to get some gas to tie them over, or to get their phone cut on if it gets cut off, or maybe the internet is important right now for some people. So these are some of the things that go along the lines of help. We're talking about immediate assistance when people's backs are completely against the wall, you see. And then those things that are really important are the things that we run out there to try and aid and assist people with. Now we have some of our brothers and sisters that are over there in Africa, and one of our brothers, I want to make this address to our brothers and sisters that responded on behalf of Elder Cletus in Africa. And then we're talking about that he wants, they need to have a roof put back on their facility where they get together. Okay, so now seeing instances like that, those are the instances where we have to reach for the brothers that are linked up and know Elder Cletus, and then we have to put a plan together and collectively come together and then contribute or donate monies specifically for that cause, for that cause right there. But that don't fall in the lines, that don't fall up under the lines of the help that we are able to distribute to people, you see? Because, you know, in my mind, I'm concerned about somebody who would, you know, they ain't just lost the roof. They don't have no walls. They don't have nothing. And so those are the people that I'm looking for and dealing with. And then another thing is that I'm going to go over some scripture because I want people to have a full understanding of what's being said. And because we have a lot of hustlers out there, we know there's hustlers out there. There's always going to be hustlers. I've dealt with hustlers in the past, you know what I mean? And so sometimes when it comes down to dealing with people that need assistance, you know, if you're not a person that's been frequently on these page, on this page or in my arena, then I have to know to whom I'm going to do the good to. And so sometimes that means we'll take a microscope and we got to get to the bottom of it. And we got to make sure that the help that you need is genuine. Because when people send money to that account and send those donations, they trust me that they seeds are going to be sown in the right ground. And so we're going to make sure that this ain't the place. If you out hustling, this ain't the place. Because for one, you got to deal with me, who's been a hustler all my life, and I can see bullshit before it even turned the corner. Then on top of that, there's a strict warning that goes out there because you're dealing with the Most High, who sees the motive and the intent of the heart. So if you have a mindset that you trying to hustle somebody for something, this is the wrong place. You bring a curse on your life and you find yourself with your legs and your ankles and everything else broken. You find yourself in a position where you can't get up because you try to hustle the Most High's people. And so I want to read these scriptures for you, brothers and sisters, and so you can have an idea. Now, most of the people, when we set these things up, we set these things up that are dealing with the people that are in my world, in my social media world. And so sometimes we get people that I ain't never seen before. I ain't never seen their name on the comment, ain't never seen their name on the timeline, ain't never seen their name on the post, ain't never seen their name on the video, and then all of a sudden, here's a request for some help when you ain't been seen before. And so I want to go over some particular things so we can have an understanding with each other. All right? Now, here's the first thing. We're going to be coming out of the 7th chapter of the book of Ecclesiastes. And this is for any brothers and sisters. Now, mind you, let me show you something. Let me show you how we head hustlers off for anybody that might have a mindset that you're going to ask for $50 or $60 and declare that you need some help. Your back is against the wall. Let me show you something. That happened one time a few years ago. Sister called. She need help. Her back was against the wall. Okay? I wasn't familiar with the sister. Even though I've seen her a couple of times on the timeline, I responded to it. But because I wasn't familiar of her circumstances, what she didn't understand is that we have brothers in every state. And we have brothers all over the world. We got brothers over there, and brothers and sisters in Europe, in UK, in Ecuador, in El Salvador, in the African lands. We have them in Israel. We have brothers everywhere. So we found out where the sister was at. What she didn't expect is she didn't expect brothers to show up on her at her doorstep. They was showing up on her doorstep with the assistance that she needed, but before they could distribute the assistance that was needed, they would eyeball the circumstances and then give me word. And at the end of the day, I would be the determining factor of whether that thing happened or whether that thing didn't happen. Well, come to find out, the sister got an attitude. She got an attitude, you see. And anytime you get an attitude, that means you really don't need no assistance. Because people that need help, they have came to a place of humility. And the only thing they want is they want up. But when you got an attitude, you don't want to release information. You don't want to make it understood why you need help. You see, some people don't need help. Some people need help because they done pilfered away what they have. Some people need help because they being irresponsible with the things that the Most High has given them. And then some people need help because a set of circumstances roll into their life and they're unable to do anything about it. But we're going to know the difference. And the reason why we're going to know is because that's what the scripture said. The first verse of the 7th chapter of Ecclesiasticus says, when you do your good, know to whom you do it. Know to whom thou doest it. So shall thou be thanked for thy benefits. So the Bible instructs us when we get ready to do good for somebody, we're going to know. We're going to know where that money's going. We're going to know where them prayers is going. We're going to know all of these things that's transpiring. That's a level of transparency. You understand what I'm saying? Now, here's another thing. To brothers and sisters that be needing help and assistance, some of them, I don't have to do these things because I've become familiar with them over the years because they have been walking with me or frequenting the page over years. So I become familiar with them and their spirit based on what I see and how I see them conducting themselves and the conversations that we have back and forth. I've become a little bit familiar. But there are some that I'm not familiar. And if you happen to be a brother or sister that need a little assistance, that's doing a little bit of struggling, here's one of the criteria that we have set up for you. You have to come on Facebook Live. And then you have to address that thing and those needs before the brothers and sisters, because it's the brothers and sisters that donate the money. I'm just the person that finds out where it's going to be distributed. You have to come on live and you have to deal with the brothers and sisters. And they can see that because that comes from the heart will reach the heart of people. And it's something about being able to come on and then deal with your personal things that you are going through, that your brothers and sisters now can feel a heart of compassion to help you. If they don't feel a heart of compassion to help you, it's now you got God standing in your way as a blockade. And this literally wipes out 50% of people that have needs when it comes to financial things. This literally wipes out 50% because they don't want to open up. They don't want to open up the door of their privacy to make us understand why they are having these issues. But there be many over the years that say, okay, elder, I do whatever it needs. I do whatever it takes. I do whatever it takes. And we bring them on live, you know what I mean? And before you know it, they humble. You know what I mean? They crying. They feeling bad because they got to ask, well, this is what it's like to be in a bad position. This is what it's like to be humble. No man feels good about having to ask somebody else for assistance. But when you really need it, then you'll humble yourself and you'll do whatever it takes, you see? Or you'll starve to death. And the reason why we go through these lengths is not just because we some type of lords or some type of grand overseer. We go through these lengths because this is how the scripture tells us that we are to deal with these things. It said when we get ready to do our good to somebody, we must know that the good that we are doing is genuinely going to be received with thanksgiving. Not that the good that we doing is going to be taken, oh man, I got over this trip, you know what I'm saying? I already got $100 in my pocket. I really didn't even need, but they sent me $50 anyway. See, we going to know. We going to know because when we get ready to help you, that means you ain't got nothing. You ain't got jack. You got lights, you got gas, you got water, but your ice box is empty. We going to know to who we doing our good to because the Bible tells us that we have to do it. Here's the second measuring stick for when we get ready to do our good. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a reward. And if not from him, then from the Most High. And we tell many of our brothers, we don't want you to pay back nothing because this ain't no loan. But when you get in your uptime, you reciprocate those things and don't forget where you got help from. And don't forget that there's always going to be somebody that's in the same position that need help tomorrow. So when you get help or something and then the Most High raise you up or elevate you or put you in a place to where now you got a little extra, then you to remember. And then you reciprocate those things. When somebody reciprocate those things, somebody, a beneficiary, we had one of our sisters in the UK. And she had called me on several times. You understand what I'm saying? And the brothers and sisters they have never failed when I asked them to come collectively together and do something, there had not been one time that brothers and sisters have not responded. And this sister had some issues, you know, and we had to go and help her 2 or 3 times. You understand what I'm saying? Even though she was in the UK, and there should be other people around that can help her. But do you not know that when we did that call on last week, she was right there. She was right there. Elder, I got a job. Elder, I'm doing good. And Elder, and they sending me, and Elder, I sent something. You know what I mean? And I said, well, bless your heart. That's what it means to reciprocate. So that's what it said. When we do good to godly people are going to reciprocate. When the Most High, that reciprocation becomes a reward for us. No, these guidelines that's set up don't belong to me. They don't belong to me. But I operate to protect not just myself. Because one thing I don't want to get confused with, I don't want to get confused with a begging Sunday morning preacher. You see? It says, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, or to him that give no alms. See, you know, it's an evil thing when you don't have nothing to give nobody else after the Most High have blessed you over and over and over again. Every time you get some extras, instead of you thinking about being a blessing to one of your brothers, you spend everything on yourself. And that's what it means to be occupied in evil, is to be selfish and only concerned with your own self and not your brothers and sisters. So giving alms means to reciprocate those good things that the Most High have done for us. So we always give a double shout out to all of the brothers and sisters that find a way to sow seeds out of their abundance. Our prayer is that the Most High will double and triple what it is that they have left. And we have a group of the same people that's always being the contributors. And I know why they're contributing. As they contributing because they see that what they get, the Most High come in and double it and triple it. And it ignites something in them to make them want to continuously do that when they see the benefit that's coming back for them. But for the person that gives no alms, he said, ain't no good coming to you because you got a closed fist. And yeah, can't nothing get out. So all you got is all you ever have. But guess what? Can't nothing get in neither. So that's one of them places that we got to learn to be in. And just like I said, I'm here, Kansas City, Missouri. We got brothers in every state, all over the country. You see, even though it don't make sense that I would have to go and aid somebody that's in Florida, when I got a host of brothers and a host of organizations down there in Florida that could be assuming that responsibility. That's one of the reasons why we do it, because we want brothers to get to that mindset so that they can be responsible for the people that's in their own house or in their own environment. It says, do well to him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread and give it not to him, lest he overmaster thee. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good that thou have done. You see, ain't no prideful man got no business asking for nothing. That's why we test these things. That's why we have to go by these particular guidelines. We give to the lowly man when we bring our lowly brother on Facebook Live and let him address the brothers and sisters whose seeds have been sown. They're not addressing me. They got to address the brothers and sisters because I don't have nothing to give you. You see, I don't have nothing. It's what we do as a collective body of people. And it takes humility to come on Facebook Live and address brothers and sisters with your need. But that's a requirement. That's a requirement to anybody that has a need, financial need, We have to bring you on Facebook, and you have to address the brothers and sisters that are doing the contributing, because we need to be able to look you in your eyes and feel your spirit and know that what we're about to do is being done for somebody that's have a humble spirit and somebody that has a godly nature. So, give unto the good and help not the sinner. Give unto the good and help not the sinner. See, the sinner is in that condition for a reason, because the Most High done broke your legs, and they're trying to get you to either learn some discipline or to repent from some of the things that you're doing that's causing your life to be in this particular place. Nobody knows that better than me. I used to live by that. It's what you call buying your wants and begging for your needs. And most times we have misplaced priorities, and I'll be the first one to jump out front and say, I used to have misplaced priorities like this. I would buy everything that I wanted because I made the money. And then when it came to the things that I needed, I had to go out and beg because I done already spent what I had. What I had should have been spent on the things that I needed. And then I should have had discipline enough to start saving for the things that I wanted. But I had it backwards. Oh, I got this money. I can spend it. I can spend it. You completely forget that your phone bill is due in 3 days. You see? Now you done spent the money, and now you got a disconnected notice or your phone is off, but the money's gone. Then you realize that the very money that you spent was the exact amount that the phone bill cost. And now you say, dang, man, I need help. I need help. We make it as though God ain't gave us what it was that we needed. But God gave us what we needed. We just didn't use it the right way. These are the areas where we learn discipline. So to the brothers and sisters that may have some issues, like I said, we didn't have many brothers and sisters that came on with financial issues. We had a few of them that came on with financial issues. And I had stressed to people that once I go through the comments and once I make this video, then I would go back through the comments, and each one of those needs gonna be addressed, no matter what it was. So it's prayer for my life. Somebody even asked for, I need help. I need help learning how to plant. Learning how to plant my own food for this spring. It don't make no difference what the help is. When we all come together collectively as a body, that all of us have we have what each other need. So we'll have people in that area. You know what I mean? We got some people may be praying for strength. Some people praying to get over pain. Some people, but don't make no difference what the prayer is. When we collectively come together to do good to the brothers and sisters, then the Most High going to do what he said that he was going to do. And so with that being said, I'm pretty much going to end the video, but I am going to do that right there. I'm just going to ask that the Most High, by his mighty hand, that he would look in the lives of every person that made a comment, every person that responded to that, every person that was in need of some type of assistance or some type of help. It is not foreign. It's not foreign to you. You know exactly what they need. You made them. You created them. And we ask that you give us discernment when it comes to distributing your gifts, that all of our seeds that are sown from this standpoint might be sown into fertile ground. They might produce some 30, some 60, and some 100-fold. And so we ask the blessing on all of the brothers and sisters that have been attached to this page, that are asking for prayer for whatever their need is. We know that your hand ain't slack, your hand ain't short to where you can't fix it. So that's our prayer. And then we want to pray for all the other brothers and sisters that may be in like-minded situations, even for the ungodly and for the sinner, that we'll pray for them too, that your hand of mercy and grace shall cover them until the eyes of their understanding can be enlightened. And with that being said, we want to say peace and blessings be upon all of the brothers and sisters. And we leave you with these couple of scriptures, that those of you brothers and sisters that want to start operating in some of these principles. Cast thy bread upon the waters, and after many days thou shalt find it. That means when you up to date and you take the time to cast your substance, when you doing well out on the waters, Take the time to give somebody some encouragement, some understanding, show some grace, some mercy, some forgiveness, some kindness, share a financial gift. That's bread that's being cast upon the water, because every day is not going to be a good day. Every day is going to be a great day in light of the fact that God made it. But every day the sun don't shine, there will be some dark days. And in those dark days, the promise is that when it's your time of need, you will find that substance that you cast upon the water is floating right back there at you. It ain't something that somebody did, it's something that you did. And that's a spiritual principle that we operate in to protect ourselves, so that we can have the assurance that no matter what situation we find ourselves in, we'll have the Most High's promised blessing resting on our life. Another one is give, and it shall be given unto you. Sometime, baby, brothers and sisters, you have to learn how to give whatever it is that you need. You might need $100, but you might only have $5. And you might see somebody in a worse condition than you. And you might say, you know what? I know what I need, but this $5, it ain't doing me no good when I need 100. I tell you what, I'm going to take 3 of these dollars, and I'm going to bless my brother with this $3 because he's in a far worse situation than I'm in. Sometimes we got to learn how to give the thing that we need. If I need forgiveness, I need to learn how to forgive somebody that have done me wrong. If I need mercy, I need to look for people that I can exercise mercy on, and showing them and distributing that thing that I need so that it can come back to me. Say, give, and it shall be given unto you. Shall men give unto your bosom? It will be pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And I like to use the example of bagging leaves. When you put leaves in a bag, they're so fluffy, a bag can fill up real quick. So what we do is we put our foot in there. We press the leaves way down, really real packed tight. And then we can put more leaves in there. And when they get in there, we can press them down. And he said, that's how your blessing going to be when you learn how to operate in these principles. He said, that thing that you given, when it comes back to you, it will be pressed down, shaken together, pressed down, shaken together, pressed down, shaken together, until it's running over and spilling out of your life. Those are some spiritual principles. We learn how to operate in them. Just think, if all of us was operating by these principles, would none of us have a need? Would not one person that say that they are God's child have a single need? Because all of us are operating by these principles. So remember, no good is going to come to an evil man, and ain't no good going to come to a man that don't ever do no alms for other people. So the evil and the alms go hand in hand. So we'll be mindful. I'll go through the comments today, and then we'll reach out to the brothers and sisters and see exactly what it is that we can do for them. And then I implore you, brothers and sisters, that you would take the time to start doing likewise. You know, all this deep information and all this, I'm Israel, and all this, I'm a Christian, all this, I'm a Muslim, all this physical stuff, all this religious-minded stuff, that stuff don't mean nothing. God's righteousness got to be exemplified in this world, and it can only be exemplified when it comes to how we treat each other. How we treat each other. So we start practicing some of these things. And to all of my brothers that's dealing with congregations and dealing with camps and dealing with all of these things, you know, the Bible say that he that don't assume the responsibility for his own house is worse than an unbeliever. Well, brothers and sisters here in Kansas City, Missouri, that's connected to me, that's my house, okay? My first line of responsibility is to my house, my wife, my children. When they taken care of, my second line of responsibility is to my house, the people that I'm immediately associated with. And then my house is the people that's on my Facebook channel. That's my house. That's my house. Well, if you brothers and sisters and you in all these different places, but you ain't assuming no responsibility for the people that's closely connected, the only thing you care about is your house, is your congregation, is your camp. That's the only thing you care about. You don't care about nothing outside of that. You one that's occupied in evil because you ain't got no arms going. If all of our camp brothers had the same mindset to go and reciprocate all the things that the Most High have done to them in the local community that they in, in the city and state that they in, we will see a greater effect and a greater exemplification of God's righteousness. If all of the churches did the same thing, if every church start assuming the responsibility and start reciprocating those blessings among the 4 square block radius surrounding their church in their community, you can see the whole community start having, you can see the whole community start looking different. And if all of us start doing these things, all the Islamic local mosques start being consumed with not their mosques, but allow their mosques to spill out in the neighborhood that's surrounding them, then you'll be surprised at the change of the community and the things that can happen. So all of us have a responsibility. I can only be responsible for those that are of my house is what the Most High make me responsible for. And so if you genuinely know that you are not of this household right here, it don't mean that you ain't of God's household. We all of God's household, but the world is made up of families. You see? And so if you know that you've been connected to another family, then it is your family that's supposed to be assuming the responsibility for you. Though you will not be limited coming over, because anybody that's hungry is welcome to come sit at my table and eat and be fed. So we just want to put those things out there. We'll go through the comments a little bit later, and then we'll personally contact our brothers and our sisters. So I wanted to put that out there. Peace and blessings on all of y'all this morning.